Today we're going to take a look at the information on the village of Ossining, which is within the town of Ossining, but in its own right has 30,000 people in it. Mayor Rika Levin, who's with us today, is in her second term as mayor. They have 2-year terms for the mayoralty, and she's been a good friend and a welcomed partner on issues that relate to the village of Ossining and to the county of Westchester. So let me now introduce the mayor of the village of Ossining, Rika Levin. Madam Mayor, thank you very much. We're happy to have you here again.
Thank you. Always nice to come back here. First of all, always to start with a big thank you for the county executive, deputy county executive, who have always been great supporters. We've become a small, sleepy village and have grown to 30,000 plus on about 32 square miles. So it's a densely populated community, changing demographics. Great location to live in. I always am inspired by the village that I've lived in for over 30 years and raised my family. And the village has gone through some changes, and that's what I want to focus on today. I'm going to bring forth about 8 initiatives that we're looking at for 24, 25, 26 that I didn't speak about last time I was invited here, so I just wanted to spotlight those initiatives. First of all, a big thank you. One of the things that we changed when I became mayor, along with the village management and village staff, is changed strategically from being a river town that's in a sleepy format, a bedroom community, to really looking to our partners at county, state, and Congress to really help us with grants for a village like ours so that the burden is shifted across many of our partners rather than just our taxpayers. And that has played out well in allowing us to really improve on infrastructure, the economy, the development, a little bit of tourism, et cetera, that I'll be speaking about shortly. So the 8 major initiatives that I really want to speak to right now is infrastructure improvements. The village operates and owns the Indian Brook Water Treatment Plant located in the town of Ossining in Westchester. It is unusual that a village like ours has its own reservoir, has its own water source, but it is exceedingly important on how we manage clean water for our community. I can refer to many cases in the national forefront, including in New Jersey and Michigan, where it is very difficult to really look at the water systems, et cetera. So we are rebuilding our entire our water plant. That will be an initiative that's at about $100 million, and we are hoping to get 30 to 40 million from other resources. That project has been in play for about 5 years now, and we hope to see shovel in the ground somewhere around 2024. So that is around the corner. We have been looking at planning, design, et cetera, but really at the end of the day, it's all about reliable drinking water, which is at the foundation of all of our initiatives. We also are looking to revitalize and have been doing so at the waterfront. The Ossining Downtown Waterfront District is going through transformative changes. Every river town looks at its waterfront. So we are looking to rebuild our Main Street commerce area, which leads to the waterfront, and connect our waterfront. We're looking to bring in more entrepreneurs, and we're looking to create greater parking capacity to help both our small businesses and those that want to play, live, and work in Ossining, who spend a lot of their time on the waterfront. It's a beautiful spot. Also located in our downtown, which is walking distance to our waterfront, as it is in many of the river towns, near the intersection of the Olive Opera House, is a lot of new stores. We are looking to build a multimodal parking structure. Multimodal because it's not just parking for cars, EV stations, lots of green effects on our parking, but mostly to increase parking so that both the housing environment and our small businesses really can benefit from the structural changes. We will also be putting lots of EV stations for e-bikes and e-scooters and e-cars, including for both residents and for the businesses. Another project that we're looking at is to renovate, and frankly, if I were to choose one, this is my favorite project, personally, which is the community center. Reason being, the community center in many of our communities here in Westchester is the heartbeat of every community. It isn't just the downtown. Community centers are places that are open, in our case, 7 days a week, from the very young to the very old. It is a central location for residents to play and live. It's a central location and address for the school system to benefit from the pool and from all the other the entire infrastructure. We are totally redoing the Caputo Community Center into a state-of-the-art facility for intergenerational recreation and learning. On a short story, I do get most often calls about the community center. Every time we are in the process now of redoing the locker rooms, we haven't done that in 20 years, get lots of emails from the community. I also get lots of emails about people whose senior parents, because we do have multi-generational people living in our community, get a lot of calls about how we take care of seniors through food programs, the pool, yoga classes, etc. And it goes across all of the socioeconomic levels. It goes across from the immigrants to the people who've been with us for 4, 5, 6 generations, of which we have many of those families. So to me, that is an area that's going to be greatly improved. We've already started that. That started a month ago, and it's going to be a 2-year project. We're also going to look to housing. Housing is always an issue. It's been an issue on the governor's plate. It's an issue at every level of government, right down to the local level, where the rubber meets the road. And we have 2 major projects going on, and all affordable, mixed income, mixed use property with 109 all affordable units, and a community center within it, a community space and possibly retail or commerce, depending on which way we go. Lots of community engagement on that project for a couple of years now. And we have a newer 74-unit mixed-use senior affordable property on a property that's been vacant for really more than a decade. And that was also with the help of the idea from the county. So I thank the county for that as well. And the shovel in the ground will be happening soon. The important thing to note here is that the housing stock is going to be increased and improved in Ossining, a relatively old community incorporated in the 1800s, so it's always great to incorporate new housing into our everyday living. We're looking also to make our community much more walkable and bikeable. We are redoing Route 9 along with the DOT from the state. As I said, the strategy for the village and the vision is to work with various agencies in order to improve parking, walkability, livability, and the small business environment. And we're also looking at, we're looking at e-bikes as we're becoming an incubator for e-bikes and looking to see how Rivertown can be used to increase the use of e-bikes in an affordable way for the community. So those are some of the things that we're looking at. A little farther down the road, we're looking to Route 9 and to reduce the lanes of Route 9 where people are speeding, have made it very unsafe. And frankly, from a socioeconomic point of view, has split our village from the downtown to the upper area. It's not really an uptown and downtown, but it has split our community in half in so many ways that there's no upside to the way it's done that. So to bring the community back together, which it was originally planned, and to help the businesses on Route 9 to have more parking, the state, we are working with the state for a number of years, but we believe the shovel will be in the ground, if not at the end of 24, certainly in 25, to create more parking and to create a 1-lane road with a center lane turn, and also fix some of these 5-way intersections that we have running right in the middle of our town. Collectively, these projects are the core elements for a carefully planned strategy. We are not reacting to changes, as oftentimes I think the elected officials have to. We're not reacting to environmental catastrophes across the country or social issues. We have engaged the public for a number of years. We are carrying through a vision and a strategy that really hits the major categories that I described, that really focus on economic development, housing, public safety, sustainability, recreation, that a town like ours and a village like ours can look at and plan for the next 10 to 20 years with some of the demographics that are shifting And we are even taking into account the increase in remote workplace as we look at some of our middle of the town, as we redo the center part of our town for recreation, for community, in our community center, et cetera, to really take into account even remote working, which looks like it might stay with us for a while. I thank you so much for the time. Looking forward to hearing about your trip in Israel, which I've read so much about. I'm glad that some folks went there, not just talk about it, but actually went right into the war zone, so I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. That's Mayor Rika Levin from Ossining. We're very appreciative of her partnership and her hard work in her village, and I am going to touch on my recent trip to Israel at the end of the update, so we cover some of the grounds that we want to cover.